Hi everyone, Emery Parsons here from PDMG. I'm going to be talking with you all today about Amazon Brand Registry. We're going to talk all about it, what it is, 2021 changes, some different things that we've seen that have been going on with Brand Registry in the past year, tips for success, our various insights, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get started first. And quickly just review what is Amazon Brand Registry. So Amazon Brand Registry is a global service with tools that helps you protect your brand's intellectual property or IP. You can find and report violations. You can share information that might help Amazon prevent such violations. When you enroll in Brand Registry, a suite of tools are unlocked, and they're designed to help you build and protect your brand, create a better experience for customers. Once you're enrolled, you can build your A+ content, your sponsored brands, your Amazon store, Amazon brand analytics, all that good stuff. Okay, so let's first talk about recent changes to Amazon Brand Registry and just kind of our PDMG insight on those changes, because there's been a lot of shifting with Brand Registry over the past year. Okay, so let's start right here. The power of Amazon support reps to make updates to seller listings has, for the most part, been taken away, and everything has been moved over to the Brand Registry team. And you guys might be wondering, like, why did Amazon do this? Why did they make this change and pull the power away from the support reps? So our insight is that Amazon does not want as many hands in the pot when it comes to making changes to listings. A Brand Registry is a much smaller team compared to all of the Amazon support reps. So ideally, this setup allows for the reviews and changes of requests to a product, but with an actual smaller group being the one to make those changes. So for example, like a new hire Amazon support rep could potentially, do something harmful to the account and mess something up. And Amazon is trying to prevent that. Also, anytime that a change to a listing is requested, Brand Registry roles need to be reviewed. And that means that Amazon is trying to ensure that the actual brand owner is the one that's requesting the changes. And there is a Brand Registry specific tool that verifies the Brand Registry role. Only certain people have permissions to this tool. Moreover, Amazon has also removed many permissions from the main Amazon support staff, even just to make a simple change to a listing, like you want to change a bullet point or something. This is all an effort to safeguard the Brand Registry account and make the entire seller support system more synchronized when it comes to making changes. So they're just wanting a smaller group to have that control on who makes changes to your listings. Okay, so you might be thinking now, well, okay, so what are the implications of doing this? Like, is it more or less efficient? Has there been a slowdown in solving cases? We've noticed that has definitely increased transfer rates and customer frustration, because, what might happen is, you might call for a product to get something changed, but then you have to be transferred over to Brand Registry to actually do that. And that can just create a little bit of confusion and frustration. So, we think that associates really need to better communicate these expectations with sellers from the get-go and sort of explain, like, oh, hey, this is why you're being transferred, or whatever the resolution is. Usually, though, the associates do want to help, but this policy change of everything being kicked over to Brand Registry prevents them from doing so. And even more, Amazon has actually physically removed any workaround that might have worked in the past to assist these updates. So removing permissions to various tools, things like that. And this is another reason why Amazon has been requesting sellers to take advantage of feed files. However, we know that this can be an issue for some people because feed files are really quite technical and they're highly problematic because there's so many requirements and terminologies that go into them. So they can definitely be kind of tricky. And let's talk about a little bit more why this is like really specifically problematic for sellers. So the increased transfer rate, like I mentioned above, is a problem because it takes a long time for somebody to call seller support, explain the issue of what's going on or what needs to be changed, then just be switched over to a different department, then have to wait for a resolution. And sellers are having to wait a potentially long time to fix something that might just be super simple and that at one point was really easy for support reps to fix. Cases tend to be ongoing with Brand Registry. It can also be, confusing the way that Brand Registry opens and closes cases, and they only operate by email. And the lack of communication here from Amazon to sellers has created more frustration. Okay, so when did this happen on Amazon? We're seeing about 6 to 9 months to maybe about a year ago is when Amazon started to steer cases to the Brand Registry team. Anything else important to note here? So we want to say that we don't know the exact number of people on this team or where they're located. All we know is that the team is smaller. We believe that the team is so closed off and operates only by email so that the phone lines don't get clogged with requests. Some teams are able to make an outbound call when necessary, but unless you're part of that team, you don't know the reason why you can or can't make an outbound call. So we definitely still see a logjam with efficiencies as Brand Registry cases can be ongoing and they're not always quick to a resolution. Okay, so let's go on down here to Brand Registry eligibility and how you might go about enrolling. So the requirements to apply for Brand Registry are you need UPCs for your products, you need to have accurate photos that you can provide of your product to show that it's yours, and then you need a registered trademark for your brand. If you want to do Brand Registry in multiple countries, you'll need to apply for a trademark in each of those countries. So we have a link right here that you can click and you just go to the bottom of the page and select enroll, and that will start your application process. Part of the application, you'll need to, just provide the information that Amazon requests, which includes, the UPCs, the photos, the trademark that we mentioned, your trademark number, and just keep in mind that you'll need to do this from the admin user of your Seller Central account. Then once you fill in all the required information, Amazon will create a case for your application, and you can check back there in that case to see if you get approved, but you should also get an email. Okay, let's keep going down here. Let's talk about Brand Registry roles. So if you are approved for Brand Registry, it's really important to set up the user roles for each person on your team that needs access to the Brand Registry, because you can create cases through Brand Registry and operate in the Brand Registry.amazon.com page. And so you just want the users set up to be able to do that. So there are 3 different roles. One is the rights owner, and that's the individual who is the trademark owner or their employee, and they're authorized to report violations. And users with this role have access to the report a violation tool and listing benefits. There's also a registered agent. That's a third party who's authorized by the rights owner to report violations. And then an administrator is an individual who can report violations and also has permission to assign roles for other users. So in order to add new users to the account, the rights owner, which should be the same person that did the original application for Brand Registry, will need to go in and invite those users and select which role they should have. And we actually have a whole separate video on this, so I will include the link to that at the bottom here, and it's also on the PDMG YouTube channel. So if you want to watch the video specifically on how to invite users, we have that for you guys as well. Okay, so let's talk about the perks of being brand registered on Amazon. There's lots of different things that you're able to do. You can have your brand store. This is a virtual store that you set up for your brand where customers can just shop for your products, and you can categorize them the way that you like, showcase images, things like that. You can have A+ content, which are enhanced graphics that live towards the bottom of your product detail page. It's just a great way to showcase your product with a variety of images and give additional information to the customer. You can do video uploads, so adding videos to your listings to showcase your product. Brand Registry gives you detail page control, so this means that you, the brand owner, are the one that has the ability to make changes to the catalog and what shows up on the live detail page, for example, like a bullet point or an image. You also have access to the brand health page. Now, this is only in the US right now, but this is basically an informational dashboard for your ASINs. And so the brand health page, when you go into it, it shows you your ASIN and description of each ASIN's current brand health, and it'll tell you if there's an issue. And then if there is an issue, Amazon will provide an action that you can take to resolve that issue. So that's super helpful. Okay, so let's talk about here tips for success with Amazon Brand Registry. We know there's been a lot of changes that have happened over the past year, so we're going to kind of walk you through like our tips for success of how to use Brand Registry in the most effective and efficient way. So if you are making updates to the catalog, like changing the title of the product, we suggest first run a full update using a feed file. If you're still having issues, contact Brand Registry directly. So you need to have your user role set up to do that. But instead of calling Amazon support and waiting to be transferred, create a case directly with Brand Registry and provide as much information as possible to them in order to expedite the solution. So explain exactly what you need to have done. Next is your brand name should be listed in the back end for all of your ASINs. That's really important to have your brand linked to your ASINs. Be sure that the brand name is listed exactly how it was submitted on the trademark. Your punctuation, capital versus lowercase letters, everything needs to be exactly correct from the very beginning when you first created the listing. And this will help prevent issues with trying to make updates. If you did enter it incorrectly the first time, you should relist your product under a new ASIN and get that brand name correct. Next, just know that you can't get somebody on the phone with Brand Registry. They are email only, so you do need to be diligent when keeping track of your cases. And we've seen that Brand Registry sometimes may close a case before it's resolved for you. So just know that you may need to reopen cases until the issue is fixed. So we suggest just really staying on top of it and keeping an eye on your open case log to see what's going on. Okay, next is when you open a case with Brand Registry, Amazon might request the following in order to potentially fix your issue. So they might want an image of the UPC on a product. They might want a link to the manufacturer website, a screenshot of a product manual, proof of your trademark, all these various things. What Amazon is trying to do is provide the best buying experience for the customer. And even if you are the brand owner and you know that, Amazon is still going to try to verify that fact. And this helps protect your account from negative reviews and high return rates. If Amazon tries to tell you that you aren't the brand owner when you actually are, this is a really good time to share that trademark proof. Okay, let's talk about a couple examples. So report a violation. Let's talk about what that is. We talked about that at the top, that Brand Registry allows you to report violations. An example of a violation would be, let's say somebody who is not authorized to do so began listing your product on Amazon to compete with you. That is considered a violation. So you would use your report a violation tool in your Brand Registry account to report this, and again, just provide Amazon with as much information as possible. Next, so let's talk about like a potential issue that you might be having when you are updating the catalog. So let's say you're trying to update images and you're having trouble, and you tried to do a full update and it didn't work. Now you want to create a case directly with Brand Registry. You should provide the images that you want updated and the ASIN that you need fixed. State that you're the brand owner. Tell Amazon to update the image. If necessary, you may also need to tell Amazon to remove any image contributions that are incorrect. There may or may not be, but if there are, you need to tell Amazon that. Brand owner images should be the only ones that are showing, and try to provide documentation that you own the trademark if you can, because Amazon may end up asking for it anyway. Okay, so that about covers it. I'm going to include some links down below for you guys. I'm going to include that other video about adding Brand Registry user roles, a link to this blog post on our website, to our LinkedIn. So be sure to check all of those out and let us know if you have any questions. We hope this was helpful in giving you, a kind of deep dive into everything that goes on with brand registry and all the different changes that have been happening.